All right, so in this one, we're gonna edit this picture of Diana in my favorite parking garage, but she's really backlit here, and there's no flash. She is in shadow. These can be kind of challenging, but and I've never edited this image before, so I kind of like this because you get to see like the things, the little tweaks that I do to, make it my style, I guess. All right, so first things first, I'm going to fix the crop on it. So I'm gonna straighten it out. Let's see, I think there's good. Yeah, that's good right there. So before I take it into Photoshop, what I'm gonna do is just lift the exposure just a tad, just so I can see the skin and I can, edit it. I think right there's good. All right, and then I'm gonna send it over to Photoshop. All right, so the image is in Photoshop. Let's take a look at the skin here. When I'm looking at the skin, there's not much to do. This is more about like adjusting the exposure and just making her pop more. This is not about skin smoothing because there isn't much to do here. But I do see a little bit of like darkness right here under her eye that I probably would want to fix really quick. So let's do that. So what I'm going to do is open up my actions. I'll open up frequency separation. Play that. So the skin smoothing layer, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do any skin smoothing. There's no need for it. So I'm going to just merge that down. Merge down. All right, so now I got the high and the low frequency layer. Low is the color of the skin. The high frequency is the detail and the texture. All right, so what I'm going to do on the low frequency is create a duplicate layer. So you can click on it, click duplicate layer. Okay. And what I'm doing this is so that if I make a mistake on this layer, if I go too far with it, I can always change the opacity, or I could just delete it and just start over. You know what I mean? So here I made a duplicate layer. So now what I'm gonna do is grab my mixer brush. After I grab my mixer brush, what I'm gonna do is sample a brighter part of the skin. See this darkness right here under her eye? I'm gonna sample this part. So what I'm gonna do is press Option on my Mac, or I believe it's Alt on PC. So you wanna see that little icon there? That's sampling that color. So I'm gonna grab that color, and then what I'm gonna do is just in a circular motion, just kind of paint over the darkness around her eye. It's gonna blend in those tones and that brighter color, right? So I'm gonna just in a circular motion, just keep going around here. And you're going to see it slowly but surely just blend in, right? All around here. All right. And a little bit more. I think I'm going to grab a little bit more of this side, right? There you go. It's not perfect, but the thing is that I'm so far away that you can't really tell. So look, this is a before and after. Before and after. I made it brighter. Now let's back up all the way and let's see what it looks like farther away. See, that looks good. When you zoom in. Actually, no. I think it needs a little bit more. All right. That's what's good. That's why I like backing away from the image, because you can really see some of the things, right? All right, let's see. Grab another brighter part of the image. And now I'm going to go ahead and paint again. A little bit brighter. I'm going to try to grab a little bit of a brighter part so it can make it easier, right? Make sure you do not go over the eye. You do not want to paint over the eye. And let me try the patch tool. I still see some darkness there, That's not doing anything. My last resort to get rid of this little darkness patch is usually go to the high frequency. And now you're moving the texture, but that's fine, right? Just to remove this part. So now it would literally just sample another part of the skin. Let me do it one more time. Grab that, and now it's gone. Now it's completely gone, which is good. All right, so now let's back up and let's see what we got. I think that looks fine. That looks good. Let me look at before and after. Before, see the darkness under the eye, and then after. I think it's a little too much. So what I'm gonna do is lower it down a little bit, the opacity, so it doesn't look overdone. See? Now it just looks brighter. It's perfect. I think just like right there. Perfect. I like that. All right. So now after I do the frequency separation and, obviously just blending in the skin there, I'm going to go ahead and dodge and burn. So click dodge and burn, click play. And when it opens up, move that up over. All right, so now you open up dodge and burn. Now we're gonna dodge first. So I'm gonna grab the dodge tool. And we're gonna grab the brush. No, I'm sorry. We're gonna grab dodge right here. All right, so let's get a little closer. And now I'm going to brighten up a little bit of the oh, negative. That's not what we want. Wrong tool. All right, so I'm gonna brighten up a little bit on the forehead. I'm gonna go down her nose. And look at my opacity. I'm at 4 exposure, so it's a really subtle brightening, right? Highlighting. So I'm gonna brighten up here on her cheek where she already has a natural highlight. A little bit on her chin, a little bit around her eyes, just to make her eyes stand out just a little bit more. Let's see, some on her arm right here, right there, just a section of the arm. I don't do the whole arm, I just do a section right there. The outside of the arm on this side, because what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna end up darkening this part, the middle part where it's darker. So I'm gonna brighten that up like that. Let's back up. All right, and then grab the, okay, I'm gonna do a little bit more dodging here. I'm gonna back up just a tad though. All right, okay. Now grab the dodge tool and I'm gonna just dodge a little bit on her outfit, just because it's so dark, it's in a shadow. Just a little down her leg, no biggie. I do it pretty sloppy. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'm just brightening it up just a tad, you know. All right, a little bit here on her jacket, a little bit on her shirt to make it a little brighter, right? Arm. So it's a very subtle effect, but you know, it's trying to just, you know, bring her out of the shadows a little bit, you know. All right, so look at the before and after dodge on the dodge part. There you go. Subtle, but very necessary. Now let's go to the burn tool. All right, now I'm gonna darken some areas that need some darkening, right? So I'm gonna grab the burn tool and, oh, that's not what I want. I grabbed the brush by accident. Okay, here's the burn. I'm gonna darken up some of the areas around the face. I'm gonna chisel out that jawline right there. You see that? Yes, sir. A little bit on the eyebrows. Doesn't have to be perfect. The nose, her nose is already sculpted. You know, she already has a nice sculpted nose, but I would normally go around the nose, but I'm not gonna do it here. A little bit under the lips right there. Nice little shadow there. On the inner part of the arm, I'm gonna darken that up where there's already a shadow there. And then the middle part of this arm where it's darker, just like that. And that is pretty much it. That's all I would do. I'm gonna go ahead and before and after, before and after, before and after. And that's okay, let's look at everything. So before the mixer brush, look at that, brightens up her eye, and then we do the dodge and burn, and now we add some highlights, some shadows, and I think we're good to go from here. I think it looks really good. So what we're gonna do is go to layer. We're gonna go to flatten image. Okay, and then we are going to save, and it's gonna go over to Lightroom. So here's the before, and here is the after. Super simple. Didn't take me a long time to kind of make her pop out of the scene a little bit more. Now we're gonna play with the colors. So let's see what we got here. I love using cool tones for this. I mean, you can go warm, but let me see. These are my warmer tones. See, that looks okay, but I like cool tones for this. So let me see. The snow preset actually doesn't look too bad. Where is my, yeah, this is my cool preset. Let me see. Oh man, I really like that. I really like the cool tones. Let me see if I can make that work. So I'm gonna start off with this. Now let's see what I can do to make it work. So let's lower the contrast a little bit. Adjust the exposure to maybe like, let me see, like right there. Let me see here. Let me adjust my window. All right, let's see. Those highlights are a little bright. I'm going to go to my tonal curve and trying to tone them down. No. So at this point, it's a lot of like trial and error to see what works. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to just leave this alone. I'm liking how that looks. It's just there's something missing and I got to find it. And I just got to play with the sliders and see. So maybe the blacks, turn down the blacks a little bit. Like right there. Yeah, because I think it's just too much of like that recovered shadow look, you know? The whites. Should I turn them down? Let me see. I'm going to turn down the whites. Yeah, there you go. Play with, you see the shadows. I'm going to leave them like right there. Highlights. This is tricky. I'm going to leave the highlights right there. So I made a quick adjustment on the cold preset, frozen preset. I'm going to see too much contrast, darkens her up. I'm going to leave the contrast a little bit low here. Let me see, before and after. Okay. Now let's get down to the hues of stuff. So one thing I love to do with these kind of pictures is play with the hues of blue. But you see the ground right there by the right here, there's a lot of blue. Maybe if I lower the saturation of the blue, it'll get that gray look. Let me see. Yeah. See, I like to mute those blues to make it look like just, you know, like gray concrete, you know. Let me see what the reds do here. Oh, adjust their face. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave orange alone. The yellows. Okay, so here we go. So the yellows, when you drop the yellows down, now you get a complete like bluish grayish image. And for an urban portrait like this, I like it. So I'm going to turn down the saturation of the yellow here. Now I'm starting to really dig this image. You see that? Now there's no yellow in the image. I like that. Now let's get the aqua. It doesn't make any difference. Purple, no difference. And there's no magenta. Or probably in the skin tones. Nope, negative. All right. So I like that. Let me see. Before and after. I think I'm happy right there with the image. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm happy. I like it. So you see how my tone, right? Like at first I was a little skeptical. I'm like, making these adjustments. And then I found it. In the saturation and the yellows. When turning down the yellows, I got really excited about the image because now I started to really like it. I think that's what was missing. I didn't like the yellows in the image. I wanted it to be completely blue and gray in the background. And that's what I got. So really happy with how this looks. And this is how I would edit it. And you know what? When I look at it though, I do see some noise. You see the noise in the skin. Normally I don't mind the noise. Actually, I rarely ever touch the noise reduction. But for this one, let me see. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, if you want a smoother looking image, you can turn up the noise reduction. But I actually embrace the grain. I actually add grain to my images, so I wouldn't mind the grain here. I think it looks really good. Looking at the image again, I noticed that I would have definitely removed something on the upper left hand corner of the image. This pipe right here. I feel like it's kind of distracting. And I would have normally removed it in Photoshop using a patch tool, but since I'm already in Lightroom, I already color graded the image. I can also remove it in Lightroom. It's a little more difficult, but it can definitely be done. So you grab the spot healing brush right here on the upper right hand corner. And what I'm going to do is highlight it starting right here. And I'm going to just go to the side, highlight that pipe right there. All right, and then I grab the sample area, which is right above what I just highlighted. So I pull down on that. And now I'm going to just sample the lower part of the pipe. See right there, I line up the pipe, bam, and click done. And there we go, all done. Now we are officially done with this image.